Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Pure Energy Health Experience. I'm glad you guys are here today. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. How to get the most out of your body, how to have unlimited and abundant energy so you can experience vitality and the highest quality of life. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yes, yes. Think about a vision of what your life would look like if you had abundant energy. If all the cells, tissues, and organs in your body were working in coordination, if your hormones were in balance, if you were able to do all the things that you wanted and need to do for as long as you want and need to do them, how great would that be? Yes. Now, are you willing to maybe sacrifice a few things, take some actions, overcome challenges, and do some hard work to be able to get there?
Sure.
Yes. And we're going to talk about what that pathway looks like today and give you some great action steps, resources. We even have a 30-day implementation plan that everyone can do here to apply all that you learn. Because if you just sit here, take some notes, take that home and put it on the shelf, are you going to get anything out of that? No, it's not. And I don't want you to waste your time here. You took time out of your day to invest in yourself, so I want to make sure you're getting the most out of that. So take notes, pay attention, be engaged, but take that information and use it in the form of action. Can I get your agreement to do that? Yes, that's what I like to hear. Well, let's take a look at pure energy. So pure, at its definition, is free of any contamination or interference. And energy is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical and or mental activity. And your metabolism is at the root of all that. Metabolism isn't just your weight. It actually balances many of the chemicals and hormones in your body. It affects every major cell, tissue, and organ. It affects your energy. It is at the root of everything. So we want to make sure metabolism is working well. And we're all about empowering you to live a healthy life naturally because you're the hero of your health journey. There's no doctor that can fix your problems for you. There's no magic drug or therapy or surgery that's going to fix your health problems and get you back to where you want to go. It's your body that's designed to be healthy. And that's what we want to focus on, how to empower you to make healthy choices so your body can do what it's designed to do. What we do here with our health team is we're like your guide. This is your new Life Chiropractic health team. I'm sure you've met many or all of these people already. It's not about any individual. Our goal here is to create a system of healthcare delivery so everybody who wants to be healthy can receive holistic healthcare. And our mission is to help as many people as possible experience that natural level of health so that everyone in our community has the opportunity to seek these natural drug-free solutions and get their health back. Because if you look at people you know around you, are they getting healthier or sicker? Yeah. How many people are sick right now? In the hospital, just diagnosed with a new medical condition, just given another prescription, just told that they're going to have to deal with this for the rest of their life, or surgery is the only answer. You probably hear these things every day. I know I do. And as you learn more and more about how your body works and what's available, you can think, you know what, you don't have to accept that. There is an answer. There is a solution. You're not broken. Your body can heal. You're just not doing the right thing. You're just not working with the right people. And we're your natural healthcare team. All of our doctors, all of our team is to help support you and your health journey so you be successful. And these aren't just quick fix, short-term things that you do. This is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. The reason I got into Max Living well over a decade ago is because the founder had a vision of shifting the culture of American healthcare, which requires 10%. 10% of the population is what it's required to make a cultural shift. A shift away from drugs and shots and surgeries and sickness and disease to holistic healthcare. Imagine if everybody went to the doctor and this is the level of care that they received. It was, let's find the cause. Let's get a natural solution. Let's support your body's ability to heal. And that was available. That was the standard, not the alternative. How awesome would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Yes, and that's what's required to really make America healthy again, is to shift away from sickness and disease and treatment and management of that to what is healthy again and understanding what that process looks like. And that's why we do workshops like this. The definition of doctor is teacher. And the only way you're ever going to get better is if you understand what that health looks like. So we're here to support you during that process. And your team is here to support you in that process. So utilize us as your health guide to be able to live a better life. Because there are a lot of people that are struggling. And many of those who are struggling to lose weight, which is a big issue, have metabolic concerns. They have an imbalanced, improperly working metabolism. 88% suffer from metabolic disease and don't even know it. It's not just I'm overweight. It could be so many different things that's going on with your metabolism, and we're just going to cover just a few. So when we look at some of the common metabolic disorders, it could be something as simple as high blood pressure, high cholesterol. How many millions of Americans are taking prescription medications for these issues? Yes. Do you think any one of those people their doctor is talking to about, you may have a metabolic disorder and here's how to fix that? No. Almost never. It's a 5-minute appointment. Let's up your medications. That's not working. Let's give you another medication. That leads to heart disease. Number 1 cause of death in America, heart disease right now. That's lifestyle related. Everything we talk about here today can prevent, reverse heart disease. That's a bold claim, but it's true. Obesity, diabetes. How many people now are diabetic, pre-diabetic? Children, a majority now are pre-diabetic and on their way to diabetes by the time they're in adulthood. Thyroid dysfunction, autoimmune disorders. How common is this now? Right, 20, 30 years ago, you almost never heard of it. Now it's going on all the time. The list goes on and on. Infertility, Cushing disease, cancer, arthritis, chronic pain, so many things. You're probably looking at this list, maybe like, hey, I have some of those things, or my spouse has some of those things, or my kids have those things, my neighbor, the person I sit next to at work, my friends from church, right? How many people in your life have at least one thing on this list? Several. So many. And how many of them are learning this information that's going to be able to change that? And your body's smart. It never causes harm. You have symptoms as your body's warning sign. This tells you, hey, there's something going on that's not working well. And you want to listen to your body. So when you have these warning signs, fatigue, thyroid issues, appetite problems, low libido, anxiety, depression, hair loss, brittle nails, trouble sleeping, irritability, obesity, any symptom at all, you want to look for, well, what may be causing this and contributing to it versus how can I feel better? The last thing you want to do is feel better from a symptom or a health issue without addressing the actual cause. So part of getting healthy is shifting your mindset and how you view and manage your health, right? Looking for that cause, looking for solutions rather than what can I take to feel better, right? What's the temporary quick fix solution? Because that's what our entire system is built upon, right? You can go, there's entire stores that are dedicated to helping you feel better and manage the disease. But like everybody said here, we're not getting any healthier. So if you want a different result, you have to start doing something different. And that starts with, what are you putting in your body? How do we think nutrition is here in America? Good or bad? Bad. Yeah, you go to other countries, they laugh at us. Like, I wouldn't eat any of the stuff you do. Even the stuff you eat here, you eat somewhere else, is totally different. It's totally different. It looks the same, but the ingredients, dramatically different. Because we have so many things that are not allowed in other countries. There's over 3,000 herbicides, pesticides, additives that are approved to be in your food. Not to mention everything else that went on in the process of creating that food, packaging that food, everything else. The standard American diet is backwards. It's completely unhealthy, and it's one of the main causes why we're such a sick country. So first thing we gotta look at is, how do we start changing what we're putting into our body? We're gonna talk about that today, right? How do you actually get nutrients that build energy versus rob energy? Does anybody think a McDonald's cheeseburger gives you energy? No, it does not. It robs energy from your body. So when you make choices for what you eat, what you put in your body, the products and resources you use, ask yourself, is this giving me energy? Is this giving me life and vitality, or is it robbing it and taking it away? And is the temporary benefit of that, maybe pleasure or whatever it may be from that, worth the lack of energy I'm going to have following it and for the months, years to come? Because every decision makes a difference in your health journey. And only you can do that, right? Only you are responsible for your health. Nobody else is. No one can sit there looking over your shoulder saying, don't do that, don't do that, don't eat that, don't do this, right? That's you. And you have to make that decision because you want to. But a lot of people, they're not making that decision. They don't know how to eat healthy. There's not a lot of solutions out there. And many of the fad diets and nutrition programs don't really work. So obesity continues to rise. We've known about this for decades now, and how many low-fat, non-fat, weight loss foods are there out there? It's like half the store. Are people losing weight? Nope. People are getting more and more overweight because all those foods, all those toxic healthy foods are full of chemical junk that makes your body sicker and ruins your metabolism. So that's what we want to start focusing on. How do we get the right stuff? 95% of the fad diets that are out there, they fail. They don't work because they're not based upon real health. They're based upon tricking your body, a chemical process of unhealthy food, pills, diet plans that may sometimes help you temporarily lose weight, but are creating secondary, tertiary, unhealthy side effects inside your body that's going to create a worse problem over time. So it's not about some fad diet. It's about a system of living, a plan for how you take care of yourself, a lifestyle of being healthy. You do healthy. That's just what you do. That's your life. When that and you embrace that and that becomes your life, that's when your results really change. I don't know if any of you have seen this documentary. I'm going to turn this up. Hold on a sec. Gotta plug the speaker in. This is good.
The reality today is that food is mostly harming us.
America was plagued with uncertainty.
We now live with so much sickness all around us that we can't even imagine what it feels like to live in a healthy society.
The seed oils, the highly polyunsaturated vegetable oils, are driving probably 90% of obesity and chronic disease across the board. So our public health system really is a disaster.
News that the president had suffered a heart attack was flashed to the world on September 24th, 1955.
What we're being told to eat is at the heart of our problem.
To me, this looks like evidence that we are being poisoned.
Seed oils are the single most processed food on the planet, bar none.
I, Dr. Ansel Keys, am a physiologist. My specialty is diet and health.
In 1948, in comes Procter & Gamble.
They literally infused $1.7 million into the American Heart Association.
That should sound the alarm bells for us. We're doing something wrong.
There should have been no experiments since then. It should have been game over for seed oils.
What do you guys think about that?
Horrifying.
Yeah, it is, right? And this is in all your processed foods. These are in many of the low-fat, seemingly healthy foods. It's all these damaged seed oils. It's safflower oil, it's sunflower oil, it's canola oil, it's corn oil. And then you get in the unhealthy hydrogenated oils, vegetable oils. All these things are so toxic for you. All these toxic fats and oils that are in all of our foods are at the root cause of many, many health problems, including metabolic disorders. And this is being marketed to us, told to us of these are the healthy foods you want to eat. These are the low glycemic foods. This is the oil you should be using. You go to the nutrition class at Kaiser, they teach you to use this stuff, right? And this is what you should be doing to help with your heart disease or cholesterol when it's actually causing it, right? So we're being lied to constantly about what's healthy and what's not, and hopefully with some regime change, we may get a little bit more truth along there, but still you have to make the decision of what it is that you use. You have to change those things out and start doing something different and really be aware of these toxic, healthy foods. So many toxic, unhealthy foods are marketed to us as the healthier alternative, and they're really not. So we're going to teach you how to read labels here today, how to understand the difference between what's going on in the actual product that it has, not just what the label says or maybe what's been marketed to you. So really paying attention to what that is makes a big difference. And we really want to focus on quality. Quality is the most important thing. More important than calories, more important than fat, more important than protein is the quality of what it is that you're eating more than anything else. So learning, where did this food come from? What was the source of this food? What was the process of preparing this food, and how did it get to you? Everything that leads up to that point determines whether that's going to give your body energy or it's going to rob you of energy. So what do they eat? Animal products. Animal products, you have to understand, well, what is the natural environment of whatever that animal you're eating would come from? Just like us, if we're eating an unhealthy diet and we're not exercising and we're given a bunch of vaccines and antibiotics and pills, our bodies are going to be sick. It's the same with animals. If they live in that same type of environment, they don't eat their standard diet, they're given a bunch of drugs, they're not moving around a lot, they're going to be sick. So if you eat sick food, what happens to you? You become sick. That just makes a lot of sense, right? But what is all standard processed proteins? It's all sick. Everything you're going to get from the store. So paying attention to what's going on, right? What is a cow supposed to eat? Grass. Anything else is unhealthy and abnormal for that cow. When a cow eats grass, it processes through its multiple stomachs. It creates omega-3 fatty acids. It creates B vitamins. It creates stable, healthy proteins. So many benefits. Magnesium, iron, all kinds of stuff. Amazing health benefits. And everything that comes out of that cow is also healthy. Any dairy products, anything that comes from it, because it's eating their natural environment. And 100% grass-fed, that's what the cow's supposed to eat. Now, this is a more expensive process. It takes longer, and we have an industrialized food system, so they typically feed them grain. So they get fat quicker. They get sick more often, so now they got to give them antibiotics. They got to give them vaccines. They got to give them medications. And think about that. If the cow ate food that made them fat really quick, what is that going to do to you? Yeah. Have you ever looked at the difference between like a grass-fed steak and a standard steak? How different they are. The color's different. The texture's different. The taste is different. Do you think the nutrient value is different? 100%. 110%. So when you're looking at the two different options, maybe this one's a couple of dollars more, but what's that worth? Investing in your health. When you think of your health as an investment, it makes a lot of sense. Because what's the other one costing you? Your health. It's costing you your health. What's the number one cause of bankruptcy every single year? It's medical bills. What's the number one expenditure in our country to trillions of dollars right now? It's medical bills. We spend more money on medicine than we spend on defense, than we spend on every other government system. It's sick care because so many people are following this unhealthy system and plan. What about birds, turkeys, chicken? What does their natural environment look like? They're roaming around, they're eating bugs and seeds and whatever else is out there. What does the standard farm chicken look like? They're all shoved in some gigantic warehouse and fed a bunch of unhealthy grains. And they're shot up with hormones so they grow faster. Do you think that's healthy? No. What about their eggs? Are those going to be healthy? Absolutely not. So you think about this, what did they eat? What did their lifestyle look like? And the only healthy version is pasture raised. Because cage-free, they figure that out now. They open the cage for like 10 minutes and they walk around and they shove them back in the cage. Cage-free. Free range, same thing, right? If you were supposed to go outside and move and they let you outside for 10 minutes and shoved you back inside, that's not free range. Pasture raised is the only healthy form of poultry now. That's going to be eggs, that's going to be turkey, that's going to be chicken. Has to be pasture raised. When it comes to fish, right? What should fish natural environment be? Nice open water, maybe they eat seaweed, maybe they eat other things. Yeah, what does a farm-raised salmon look like? They live in a big tank. They're actually fed grain, GMO grain is what they feed these fish. They're actually like a whitish color in there, and they have to dye the fish to make it look orange like salmon because they actually churn that deep red, pinkish color because they eat seaweed, they eat other things from the ocean that actually increases the nutrient value of the omega-3s and the healthy, stable proteins. So you want to always get wild-caught fish versus farm-raised. Now, what about when you're going out to eat? What do you think they're using? Yeah, of course, because it's less expensive. And sometimes maybe it tastes a little better to the average person because it has more fatty content and it has maybe a little bit more flavor, right? But it's all about what is available, what is cost. You're not going to many places and it's like, that's the grass-fed ribeye right there. Nope, that's the grain-fed, unhealthy, not great version. So going out makes it a little more difficult to eat healthy, but we want to make sure we're paying attention to what those look like. And protein is actually really good for you. Your body needs proteins. It's the building blocks of your cells, your tissues, your hormones, your organs. There's plant-based versions of protein. There's animal sources. You want to get both. Unfortunately, with all the plant stuff now, it's gotten even worse. An Impossible Burger is actually worse for you than a McDonald's burger because of all the damaged, unhealthy plants that go into that. If it wasn't supposed to be the thing, it's not going to be the thing. There's no impossible version. It is impossible because it's not possible. You can't create the nutrient density of a grass-fed burger with plants. You just can't. There are plants that have protein and that are good for you, but they're not going to come in a burger. Right? If you don't want to eat meat, don't eat meat. Right? Eat it in its actual form. That's totally fine, but don't try to get the soy version or the Franken whatever, or like vegan sausage. Right? That stuff just doesn't exist. And so a lot of people that choose to do vegetarian or vegan for health purposes actually end up sicker and have more metabolic disorders because they're eating the most processed food, more than anybody. So you got to be aware of that, right? Again, healthy is not always healthy. You have to know what's going into it. So this is ButcherBox. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this before. I started using ButcherBox. This QR code takes you right to their site if you're interested. We have a partnership with them. You actually get a discount on your first few boxes and a lot of times free stuff. The promo changes. So if you're wanting to change out your meats, this is a great opportunity. We've been using them for a while now, I think at least over a year. And they have grass-fed, pasture-raised, healthiest versions of all the different kinds of meats that you want at a very reasonable price, and they ship it right to your house. It's amazing, right? It shows up on the doorstep once a month. It has everything that you need. You're good to go. I love ButcherBoxes. You can't always find the good stuff, and they have it all there. So definitely recommend utilizing this. It's going to save you money, and it's going to make sure you're getting the best quality without having to be MacGyver or a detective to figure out what's actually in this. Where did that lineage go? Is it really grass-fed, or does it just say partially grass-fed or organic, and what does that really mean? Right? You want to know what it looks like.
Question. When it says pasture-raised, is that the same as, like, for example, the chickens? Is that the same as, like, organic?
So organic is different. So organic just is not necessarily mean healthy. Organic means they use organic processes in the processing of itself, or maybe even in the food, but it doesn't mean that they gave them healthy food that they wanted. So that's one of those seemingly sometimes healthy. They can say, oh, this is organic chicken, or it's natural, or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy for you. You want to make sure when you're looking for like beef, 100% grass-fed. Organic is ideal because of the process, but what they ate is more important than whether it's organic or not. When it comes to plant-based foods, you would definitely want to make sure it's organic, because then you're making sure it's not being sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, it's not getting any genetically modified organisms in there, because that all comes with its own issues. Now, we also want to look at some metabolism boosting foods. So these are things you want to include in your diet regularly as part of your health plan. That would be protein-rich foods. Again, you need protein. Protein improves your metabolism, gives your body energy, it makes up the building blocks. It has amino acids, a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So you want to get the right type of proteins. Leafy greens are really good too, because they're full of minerals that come from the earth. And this is where you want to make sure it's organic. You want to make sure it's naturally raised, because then you're just going to get the most nutrient density from the soils. So lots of leafy greens, get that in regularly. Lots of healthy fats. We're going to talk about a few of these. Fat is actually really good for you when you get it in its healthy form. So those are the kind of oils you want to use. You want to use coconut oil. You want to use avocado oil. You want to use olive oil, right? Where it would actually come from. If you take an olive and squeeze it, you're going to get oil, right? If you take cotton and squeeze it, you're not getting oil. It's not going to happen. You take a seed and squeeze that a lot of times, you're not getting oil out of that. There's a chemical process that has to happen to extract the oil from it, and that's why it's not healthy for you. So you want to think about, did this oil come from an actual food that I can make oil from that was pressed into an oil? So all the natural oils are just pressed from the food itself into oil, and usually the only ingredient is the food it came from. Olives, avocado, coconut. It doesn't have this much ingredients in it, right, of all the junk that it took to get to where you wanted to be. And then berries. Berries are great antioxidants, extremely healthy for you. Colorful, all the colorful foods, that's all vitamins. That's all nutrients in there. Orange and pink and red and blue, all that, just think of that as nutrients going in your body. You want to get these organic as well. You want this to be a staple in your diet. So when you think of when you're planning out your food, am I getting protein, greens, healthy fats, berries, antioxidants as often as possible in almost everything you try to eat? And when it comes to fat, you don't want to avoid fat. You want to make sure you're getting the right types of fats, right? That's the key. You can see this. This is all full of fat. Is anything on this list healthy? No. And you say, I want to avoid all these fats. What about this side? This is all fat too. Avocados, nuts, seeds, oils, it's all fat, but it's good for you. Healthy fat that gives you sustainable energy. Your brain's made of fat, your cell membranes are made of fat, your organs are surrounded by protective fat. You need fat in your body for sustained energy, but you want to make sure you're getting the right types of fat. So understanding the source. And this is the one you want to avoid at all costs, sugar. There is no healthy form of sugar. There's less unhealthy forms of sugar. But overall, sugar is the anti-nutrient. It's the biggest cause of inflammation, and it stresses out almost every area of your body. But your brain really likes sugar. So you have to be careful of how you address that. There are sugar alternatives. The best ones are stevia and aspartame. There's more natural forms like honey or monk fruit or coconut sugar that you can use. But you definitely want to avoid artificial sweeteners like Sweet and Low and aspartame and sucralose, which is also in a lot of the non-fat foods. They put these artificial sweeteners in there, and those are all neurotoxins. Those are chemical processes that are damaging your metabolism. So don't use the pink and the blue and the yellow packets. You're better off using just plain old sugar, or bring some of your own packets. Even those are starting to get contaminated now, so you have to really watch what the ingredients are and that it's only the ingredient. Some stevias I'll see now will have like 4 or 5 different ingredients in there, right? Still not healthy for you. It should be just the plant itself, because that's where the most natural form comes from. So with Max Living, we created 2 types of nutrition plans. One is the advanced plan. So the advanced plan is a part of resetting your metabolism. If you want to lose weight, if you have any kind of health concerns, inflammation, you just want to get your body back on track. Maybe you haven't been following the best nutrition plan for a while. The advanced plan is a good reset. Like, let's get things working well. You do this for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, however long you want to do to get your body where you want to go. And it's very simple. We avoid grains and all forms of gluten, anything that can be inflammatory to your body for a period of time. So it's going to be rice, grains, pastas, breads, every form of grain there is, even healthier ancient grains, quinoa. Those can be good for you, but for a period of time, you want to eliminate those because you want to take all the stress off your gut, off your metabolism, off your digestive system to allow things to heal. Any form of sugar is also not on this plan. So that's juices, even a lot of types of fruits, natural sugars, all forms of sugars you want to get rid of and keep it out of there that entire time. Again, we want things to be able to heal. We want bad bacteria to die off. We want that digestive system to be able to reset there. We want the brain chemicals and hormones that regulate how you burn fat and your hunger to reset as well. Sugar and all these processed foods totally throw that out of whack. You want to get more healthy fats in, right? You want to start learning and incorporating healthy fats, which is actually going to give you more sustainable energy, and avoid all the damaged fats, all processed foods, all vegetable oils, all that gone. Take that out, throw it away. Start getting in the naturally raised animal products. Switch out everything you've been doing. Start using this. Only low sugar berries like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, green apples, the ones that are a little more tart, not the real sweet ones, because they're very low in fructose, but they still have the nutrient density, they still have the antioxidants. So this is the basics of the advanced plan. Pretty easy, right? Pretty much anybody could follow this, understanding what that looks like. And one of the best ways to help with that is to have a plan for how you shop for food. Most people don't have a plan. They just go to the store and they walk around like, oh, I'm gonna get some of that. Oh, I need a little bit of this, right? You kind of have maybe a basic idea, but there's not really a plan. There's not a strategy for how you shop or what you're looking for. This is some steps that's gonna help you with that process. What does that actually look like? We also work with a company called Farm Fresh to You. You've probably seen them here in the office. We've been working with them for a while. This is local, farm fresh, organic, non-GMO, healthy food. So another great opportunity where you can have locally raised berries, food, leafy greens. They even have a grocery that you can get on there, and that's a little bit different. That's like DoorDash or one of those ones that will deliver groceries. They have that available on there as well. But mostly you look at the plant-based food. It's all organic. It's all local. We actually get a discount as well, 20% off the first 5 deliveries. So you can scan the QR code here, or we can send it to you. If you're interested, again, it gets shipped right to your house. It makes it easy. A lot of people, they say, I don't have time to be healthy. I don't have time to shop and go to multiple stores and look for the healthiest alternatives. I just gave you 2 resources that's going to save you time and money, That's going to get you everything that you want right there. You can get all of your grocery and plant-based items delivered right to your house. You can get all of your meats delivered right to your house. Simple, right? When you make health easy, it's more sustainable. When it's really hard and you put up all these barriers like, I just can't do that and can't keep up with it, well, it's not going to be sustainable and you're not going to stick with it. Right? We want you to stick with these things, so we'll give you as many resources as possible to make it easy, and then it's just recurring, just keeps going. You just update it every week. These are the things that I want. They drop it off on your doorstep on Wednesday, or whatever your day is, depending on wherever you live. It's Wednesday at my house. So when you look at the store, shop around the perimeter. Right? You've probably heard this before. What's in the middle?
Junk.
It's all the processed junk, right? It's all the aisles, all the box and the cans and the frozen stuff. None of that stuff is good for you. Maybe there's a couple of things in there that are okay, but for the most part, not good. So the outside is the fresh produce, it's the meat section, it's everything else that you want to do. It's the fresh nuts section that you can go in there. That's where you want to do a majority of your shopping, right there on the outside. Some stores like Sprouts are pretty much that's the entire store. So where you go shopping makes a difference too. Thankfully, we have a lot of great resources right around here. Costco actually has a lot of good stuff. Sprouts is available. All these stores have healthier stuff. Some you have to get a little more creative than others. So pick the healthier options near you or have it delivered to you for what you want to look at. You also want to learn to read labels. So don't just read the nutrition facts of how many calories, how much fat, how much sugar is in there. You want to read the bottom part, the ingredients. What's actually in it? And the way the ingredients work is the first thing that's listed has the highest content, and the thing at the end has the lowest amount of content. And the basic rule is if you don't understand what's in there, you shouldn't be consuming it. Just makes sense, right? If it's got a bunch of words and random things that you don't even know and 4 different oils and 3 different types of sugar, is that giving you energy or robbing you of energy? Yeah, exactly. So let's start working on not utilizing those things. Understand what those ingredients mean. If you don't understand, it means it's probably not good for you. Look for more natural ingredients versus the chemical version of what an ingredient is. Right? Don't just read the front that says natural or healthy or whatever. Flip that thing over. The ingredients list doesn't lie. That's what we want to really focus on. Beware of that marketing. Beware of low fat, non-fat. They put gluten-free on everything now. They put gluten-free on steak. It's like there's no gluten ever in steak. But the people think I'm going to eat gluten-free, so they see that little gluten-free sticker and like, oh, this must be good. But then you turn it over and it's got 12 super unhealthy, crazy toxic chemical products in there. Yeah, it's gluten-free, but it doesn't mean it's good for you. Gluten-free doesn't mean good for you. Even always organic doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. It could still have organic, unhealthy ingredients. So the ingredients matters more than anything. Sugar-free doesn't mean it's healthy. Low carb, low fat does not mean it's healthy. In fact, most of the time, the low fat, non-fat, healthy diet foods are the worst for you because they have the artificial sweeteners. They have the unhealthy oils. All the nutrient density is in the fat and it's in the product itself, and all that gets taken out. When you take out all the good stuff, you're left with nothing, so they got to add a bunch in there to even make it edible for you. And the standard of what's edible and what's available in the FDA is not good. It's not good. Watch out for all the different types of sugar. So ose, that's the key. Anything that ends in ose is a sugar. And there's all types of oses. As you start looking like, oh man, there's so many. I think there's like 15 different types of ose as far as sugar goes. So many. Hydrolyzed, hydrolyzed, MSG, artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated. These are all the damaged, unhealthy sweeteners and fats. And you're going to see this again. When you start doing this, like, man, this is in everything. It is in everything, except the healthier alternatives. And eventually you kind of figure that out. So 5 steps. And we're going to give you resources today on actually a shopping guide on how you can shop through the store, a toxic ingredients list of what to look for in those foods and on the back labels so you know what's healthy, what's not, and even healthier alternatives that you can start looking for. So that'll be part of your resource guide just for being here today. Because again, I want you to be successful with this, so we're going to give you the resources so there's no reason why you can't be. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So we got our new guy here who's going to help us with health, hopefully. Let's take a look at what he has to say.
To help with our children.
When my uncle was president, 6% of Americans had chronic disease, and today 60% of our kids, 77% of children of American teenagers are too sick to qualify for military service. That's a national security issue. The autism rates have gone from 1 in 10,000 in my generation to 1 in every 34 kids today. In California, it's 1 in every 22. When I was a kid, a typical pediatrician would see 1 case of diabetes in an entire 40 or 50 year career. Today, 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door is diabetic or pre-diabetic. The cost of treating chronic disease has gone from 0 when my uncle was president to $4.3 trillion. The biggest item in our budget is 5 times our military budget. It's killing our country. It's destroying our children. And we know why it is. It's from toxic exposures, and that's mainly in the food and pharmaceutical.
There it is. Food and pharmaceuticals. The food makes you sick. The pharmaceuticals are given to you to manage the sickness from everything else that you do, right? That's where we are. And that's not going to change until we start doing something different. Even someone coming in here is not going to change all that for us, right? It comes down to the decisions that you make and the choices that you make. If people stopped buying all the junk, they would stop making it. But people keep buying it, so they keep making it. That's the key. Your decisions come down to what your outcomes are. And the government's not going to change that for you. They're not going to remove all the unhealthy stuff. Maybe some stuff gets taken out. Maybe more things come to light. Maybe there's going to be some more accountability within the pharmaceutical industry, but it's not going to change overnight. So the decisions need to happen now. What you're doing with your life, what you're doing with your kids, your family, the people that you care about, right? That comes down to what you're doing each day. And every one of those decisions makes a difference. How many people want to be taking more medications? Raise your hand. Nobody. Who loves going to the hospital for being sick? Nobody. Who likes getting surgeries? Nobody. Yeah. Who loves spending a bunch of money on their medical insurance plan that doesn't help them with anything that's healthy? Nobody. Exactly. So then why are so many people doing that? So many people. Only 1 in 1,000 Americans make it to age 60 that doesn't have a chronic health problem that's not taking a medication. 1 in 1,000. 1 in 10,000 couples, and 1 in 100,000 families. So the chance that your family makes it to that age and nobody's on a medication is 1 in 100,000. That's insane. It should be the other way around. And that stuff is so dangerous. According to the CDC, medications alone is the 4th leading cause of death. That's nuts. So we have to understand, like, well, what do I do instead? It has its place for sure through acute systems, but it's not supposed to be for the rest of your life. It's not a solution to chronic disease. It's just the treatment plan. So there are nutrients out there that can actually help your body function better. And I'm really excited about the foundational 3 here. The foundational 3 is the most comprehensive supplement bundle that I've seen in a long time. This comes from natural organic companies that have put this together utilizing the most bioavailable healthiest products to support the systems of your body, including your metabolism, to optimize your human performance. So if nutrients give your body energy, this is what we want to start using a lot more of. Set yourself up for success. So there's 3 different products in this Pure Energy bundle. Now, I know none of you are biochemists, or maybe you are, I don't know. So some of these things aren't going to make a lot of sense to you. So now we're going to go through everything and teach you about what each ingredient means. That's not going to make a difference. What you do want to know, though, is there's 20 clinically studied ingredients that are in these 3 products alone. Most supplements that are out there, 0 studies, 0 regulation. There is no regulation of nutritional supplements. You can throw anything out there, right? You can say, hey, this cures this and that. This will make your hair grow back. This will make this and that happen. This will make you lose 20 pounds. You can make whatever claim you want, throw it on the shelf at GNC or Costco or Walgreens or wherever, and people can start buying it. So I tell people that all the time. Don't just go to the store because you heard someone say vitamin D is good for you and grab the cheapest vitamin D off the shelf and start taking it. That doesn't mean it's not good for you. But there are supplement companies that are doctor only, practitioner only, like the stuff that we use here, that are well studied and that are bioavailable and that come from farms. In fact, next month, Max Living, they're having a seminar at the farm that actually produces the food that goes into the nutrients of these supplements in the healthiest, most sustainable, bioavailable, and regenerative way possible. It's amazing the amount of nutrition and quality that goes into these supplements alone. And there's 3 key products that are vital to the functioning of your body and your metabolism. Number 1 is your cellular health and longevity. At the base of everything, your cells run your whole body. If your cells are not healthy, your body's not healthy. So how important is it to give your cells what they need to function optimally? Cellular health, right? That's really where that energy comes from. This affects your metabolism, this affects your hormones, it affects your vitality, and it's all about longevity. And a big part of what goes in here is healthy organs. So actually taking organ meats and putting them into a supplement supports your organs. Getting liver supplements supports your liver. Getting kidney supplements supports your kidney. So when you're getting these in here, this product actually has multiple organ functions going into your body. Who loves eating liver? One person. Yeah. Who loves eating kidney or intestines or heart, right? Nobody loves eating that stuff, right? You're not gonna be like, oh, I got my liver. But you could be taking that and get the benefits from it. There's actually physiological benefits from organ meats, but most people don't eat them because they're not great. And they're actually kind of hard to find. And again, you don't know what source they come from. You go to the store and buy calf's liver. It's not grass-fed, super healthy calf's liver. It's sick, unhealthy, toxic calf's liver. So it's still not even good for you. So you can get these things in here, and this supports your hormones, your energy, right? There's 9 clinically studied ingredients in this one product alone. I started taking this. This is going to be part of my new regime that I just take consistently, right? Because how long do you want to support the health of your cells? Forever, right? It's not something that you just take once, like, oh, I took it for a month. That's not going to fix your problem. Your cells are under stress every single day. So if your cells are under stress, how important is that you build them up and you have antioxidants and you have healthy support and you support your metabolism and you support your sleep and your energy and your cell cycles, right? This is all that's in there. Number 2 is inflammation and immune system. How many people suffer with inflammation? You ever feel pain or discomfort? That's inflammation. How nice would it be to have less inflammation? To never have to take ibuprofen or Advil or any one of those ever again. How awesome would that be? That'd be awesome. Yes, and you don't just take it when it happens. That's what happens. We get in this treatment mindset. Oh, my knee hurts, I'm going to take ibuprofen. Or, oh, I hurt my elbow, I'm going to take Advil. And then you don't take it anymore. So when it works on a health basis, you do it consistently so the levels of inflammation in your body are consistently lower. How about your immune system? Who loves being sick? Nobody, right? And everyone's so afraid of being sick right now. Everyone's got the flu. Everyone's got this or that. And, they're out for days. I got people, family members out for weeks, going to the hospital, all this kind of stuff, right? That doesn't just happen by accident. You're not just healthy one day and in the hospital for 2 weeks the next, right? That doesn't happen. Your immune system is weak. You're immunocompromised. Your ability to adapt to stresses is not good. Therefore, you come across an illness and your body can't handle it, right? Do healthy people get sick too? Yes, but it's like 1 day, 2 days, barely interferes with your life and you're fine. It's not good luck. It's not your genetics. It's not catching it or giving it to somebody else. The only person that determines whether you're sick or not is who? You. It's not the person next to you. It's not the person that coughed across the room. It's not any of that. It's how is your body working on the inside. How's your metabolism? How's your ability to process toxins? How's your ability to manage stress? How are your immune cells functioning? All of that determines whether you get sick or not. So how great would it be to support your immune system all year long? Amazing. Yeah. So you don't get sick as often. And when you do, it's minimal. It's not train wrecking your entire life. It's an inconvenience versus a major setback. And to do that, you support the systems of your body. Different types of vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K2, collagen, gut support, fermented types of foods that are naturally anti-inflammatory that support the healthy systems of your body. This is just part of healthy living. And what about digestion? How important is digestion? Yeah, for you to absorb the nutrients your body needs, for you to eliminate toxins, for you to build your immune system. 70% of your immune system comes from the gut itself. This makes up the neurotransmitters of your brain that affects your mood. It affects inflammation. It affects so many different parts of your body. And most people's digestive system is way off because of all the things we already talked about. The unhealthy foods, the toxicity, the stress, all of that destroys your gut. When your gut's not healthy, your brain's not working right, your cells aren't working well, your immune system's compromised. So how great would it be to improve your digestion throughout the year? Better elimination, your body's ability to detox and process toxins. Do we have a little or a lot of toxins around us? A lot. Everything is processed now. Toxins are everywhere. They're unavoidable. You can avoid many of them, but there's still going to be ones that are going around. So how nice would it be to constantly be filtering out your body of these toxins so your resilience and adaptability to new chemical stresses is going to be higher. So when they do come along, your body's prepared to deal with them. 5 more clinically studied ingredients that supports your gut health and your ability to break down, absorb nutrients, process toxins, and digest foods. This is something you're doing on a consistent basis to keep things working well. It's not just, again, short term when your gut's not working well or you have heartburn or some type of diagnosable process, or maybe you had a round of antibiotics that wiped out your gut. You do this consistently so things are working better. So it's supporting your gut and it's supporting your detox systems. It's supporting your liver. It's supporting your lymphatic system. It's supporting your kidneys all throughout the year. So this is the Pure Energy Bottle. It's these 3 products that you're using consistently. Now, these products are new. Right? We just started using these, so we're doing an introductory offer of 20% off. If you want to try them out, we have them all here today. I highly encourage you to be able to do so. And this is part of your lifestyle support. So you're investing in yourself, spending a little bit of money on nutrition and quality things so you're not having to spend a lot of money on sickness and disease. What does 1 day of missed work cost? What does 1 visit to the hospital cost, right? What is 1 week of your kids out of school and now you have to pay childcare? What does that cost, right? Less than these 3 combined. I guarantee you that. So utilize the resources available to you. That's why I take these. This is part of my regimen now. I plan on continuing to do it because my goal is health and longevity. Optimum function is my goal. And so part of that goal means there's certain things that I'm investing in on a regular basis, right? So you go out to eat 1 less time that month, that covers the entire cost of you taking your nutrients for that same month, right? You're taking out 1 unhealthy thing that gives you minimum benefit to something that gives you a lot of benefit that's really healthy. So sometimes it is a sacrifice. I'm going to take this thing away that's not adding to my life, that's robbing energy, to something that adds to it and gives you gain. And when you start making those decisions for yourself, you're reaffirming to you that health is a priority for me. Health is a priority for our family. And my health is worth investing in because it's an asset, not a liability. When health becomes a liability, that's because you went so far off the other scale and you hadn't been taking care of yourself the whole time. So that's where it starts to change. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. If you want to learn more, there's a flyer in here. Everyone got a packet. Talks about the foundational 3 and what goes into that, why they created them. It's all right here. We only have 10 of these available today because they're on limited release, but now completely available. So this discount applies to anybody, but we only have 10 physically here in the office. We're going to order more so you can get as much as you want and pre-order and still get the discount. But just know that it's a limited supply here today. Any questions on the nutrition section that we covered here? Make sense? See, living healthy isn't that hard. It's not some crazy difficult thing. It's just about making the right decisions consistently. So I want to talk about stress for a minute. Is that okay? Yes. Because stress is one of the hidden health concerns that a lot of people don't necessarily think about. So stress directly affects your metabolism. When you're under stress, your body releases certain type of chemicals, primarily cortisol, but also adrenaline and norepinephrine and a number of others. So when your body releases these chemicals consistently, it affects the systems of your body. When you release stress hormones like cortisol, it downregulates many of the systems of your body, your immune system, your digestive system, your ability to detox, your metabolism. All these things shut off because your body's preparing for a fight or to run away because that's what's necessary. That's the stress response. And physiologically, that's the right response in a stressful environment. But what's the problem now? Stress comes from everywhere. It's not a fight, it's not a lion attack, it's not hunting from food. Our physiology is the same. Our brain still thinks, we're a caveman or we're out foraging for food, living in the forest or the open plains, but that's not our life. We live more in like a zoo now. So if you think like an animal in a zoo and what goes on there, that's kind of like what our life is like now. Stressful all the time, and we're constantly connected to this stress. Who brought their cell phone here today? Yeah. So when you pull up your cell phone, how many things could you find in there that's stressful? Yeah, look at your email. How many things are there? To-do list, this and that, right? Pull up your social media feed. How much stress is on there? Yeah, look at maybe your missed calls or texts, this and that, problems, fires, things you're putting out. Maybe pull up certain areas and it's like, stress. It's constantly coming at us all the time. We're under more stress now than any other time in human history. And you think about that, your brain can only process so much stress. And when you're under constant stress and these systems of your body are constantly down-regulated, turned off, fight or flight, you think that's healthy? No. Do you think that's giving you energy or robbing you of energy? Robbing. Yes. So what's your plan to help your body deal with stress? Most people turn to unhealthy things. Unhealthy foods. Alcohol, right? Does alcohol give you energy? No. Drugs, right? There's recreational and prescribed drugs that help to deal with stress. Some of the most commonly prescribed. Exercise is a healthier alternative to stress, absolutely. Right? So there are healthy things that you can do. Meditation, journaling, being here in a community like this, laughing and spending good time with your friends. Right? There's lots of things you can do to help your body manage stress. Even something as simple as breathing can change your stress response. But is there a strategy there? Is there a plan? Are you able to recognize those stressful moments and adapt in a healthy way? Or does it just build up that leads to unhealthy adaptation? So you want to think of as peace management. Nobody likes stress management. You don't want to manage something that's stressful. But when you think about like, what's my plan for peace? And maybe that's different for you. So what I encourage you to look into is mindfulness. Right? What does mindfulness mean? Actually training your brain and your body of what a stress response looks like. Because most of us are triggered by certain things stressful. And your body remembers that response, so it just goes right into that immediately. What mindfulness is that you actually recognize the response like, okay, there it is. And in this moment, I'm going to choose to do something different. I'm going to choose to step aside and take a deep breath instead of yell or get mad or flip off the guy who just cut me off on the freeway. Whatever that is, you choose to do something different. In a stressful situation, I choose to maybe journal or write this down or call and talk to somebody about it or go exercise or go for a walk. Go out in nature and look at the trees for a little bit. Right? There's so many physiological things you can do, but a lot of times we don't do that. It's just like go back to whatever the habit is. So part of getting healthy is changing your habits and having peace management type habits. You can do meditation, you can do binaural beats, you can do reading. There's so many things that are available. What I encourage you to is have a plan. So part of your homework today is, what's my peace management plan? And you got to think ahead. When I encounter stress at work today or in traffic today or with my spouse today or whatever it may be, what's going to be my plan when that happens? Because it's going to happen. You want to have a strategy. And you got to think about, what is your why? Like, why is healthy important to you? And again, that's different for everybody, but when you have a strong enough why, then you can do anything. I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be healthy because I love going on hikes and playing golf and being active. So I'm willing to sacrifice the unhealthy things to get more of the things that I want in my life. I want to start a family. I want to lead a company. Whatever it is for you that's important, you got to have that why. And when the struggle comes, like I don't feel like doing this anymore, I'm tired, it's hard, you go back to that why. Oh yeah, that's why I'm doing it. And that's why I keep moving forward. And that's part of your peace management. That's part of your health strategy. And you want to think of your life as systems, not goals. Goals don't work. Goals are temporary. Goals is I want to lose 10 pounds. Then what? Then what? If you don't have anything else, how many people have lost weight and gained it back? Yeah. How many people, I talk to you all the time, that have done something like 75 hard and killed it for like a month and a half and then 2.5 months, whatever long period it is, and then poof, right back to where they were 2 months later. I've heard it so many times in every network of people that I know. It's like, oh yeah, I did it, I killed it. And I was like, dude, you're heavier than you were when you started. It's because you went right back to everything. The second that thing ends, what is it? Right back. Oh, I'm getting like 3 pizzas today. I'm not working out for a week. I'm back on my cell phone. Screw this 2-a-day workouts. I'm not working out at all, right? It's because there's a goal. My goal was to finish. And then what? I don't know if anybody read this book, Atomic Habits. A couple people. It talks about creating habits, making bad habits hard. So some people, it's like, oh man, I eat at night, I eat this and that, I can't just avoid it. Willpower always fails. It's always going to fail. You're tired, it's the end of the day, like, oh, those cookies in the cabinet look really good, and you eat the whole bag, right? You're not going to be able to have the willpower all the time. The beginning of the day, you're getting up, you're starting your day like, oh, I don't want any cookies. Don't have it there. Make bad habits hard. If you don't want to have a drink at the end of the day, don't have alcohol in your house. You don't want to eat ice cream, don't buy ice cream at the store. Make it hard to do the bad habits. Good habits need to be easy. So if you want to have good habits consistently, like do your home care, don't pack it in a bag in the closet and have to get it out every time. If you want to exercise more and you bought that exercise bike, don't fold it up and throw it under your bed. You're not going to do it. But if it's sitting right there and you got to like shimmy around it, like, well, I might as well hop on the bike. Like, make it easy. Make good habits really easy. Put it out right there so there's no excuse for you to be able to do it. You have to like actively avoid it to not do it versus actively have to go through a process to make it happen. That's the key. Systems. Create systems around being healthy. There may be goals along the way as part of the system. I have a goal of losing 10 pounds as part of this system. So you lose 10 pounds and you continue to follow the system. And you just keep going and like, well, now I want to gain some muscle. Now I want to get here. Now I want to do this. And these are just your waypoints along the way to measure your progress. But the system keeps going because here you create habits. Habits create behaviors and behaviors create results. That's really the key. It's consistency over time. So the things we're talking about here today are not things you do for a period of time. They're things you always want to do if you want to be healthy. How long should you have good nutrition? Always. How long should you avoid toxic food? Always. If you want to be fit and healthy, how often should you work out? Or how long? All the time. Regularly, right? You're right. Lots of times, everyone is capable, or you have those times where you killed it and you got really fit or you were an athlete. How many pro athletes do you see now that are announcing and they're overweight and unhealthy? It's like you were once a like supreme athlete. So we know the discipline's there, but now that went away. They retired, they're done, and just poof, it just all went to the side. Right? It doesn't have to be that way. It's because the habits went away. They had habits of being healthy, habits for fitness, habits of how they took care of themselves. And it's like, well, I'm done now. So those habits are gone. But the healthy people, those habits just keep going. There's also plenty of pro athletes that are still super healthy. And you see them out there, Tom Brady's still looking good, probably could throw passes out there. But then you look at Jamarcus Russell and he's sitting on the couch and probably couldn't run to the end of the street. Right? It's choices. It's habits that get you there. So I'm going to go through some healthy habits. How's that sound? Yeah. All right. So first of all, you want to move. Movement is a habit. Get yourself moving. You should get about 150 minutes of some type of exercise per week. That's the physiological recommendations to prevent heart disease, prevent metabolic disorders, prevent all the different types of issues that come with sedentary, non-movement lifestyle. 150 minutes. That's not a lot. That's like 20 minutes a day. That's really all it is. Resistance training at least 3 times a week. This is super important because muscle builds metabolism. In fact, one they found in older age, the thing that determines brain breakdown, dementia, physical breakdown more than anything else was muscle loss. Muscle loss. More than anything else that you could possibly do is lose muscle in older age. Your skeletal system breaks down, your organ systems break down, your brain degenerates. You got to have muscle because muscle runs your metabolism. Your metabolism helps run your body. So that's why resistance training is necessary. You need to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be pumping iron in the gym. It could be body weight. It could be walking around with the vest. It could be, some certain type of an activity, but you need some kind of resistance, challenging movement on your musculoskeletal system. You also need to get regularly scheduled adjustments. Your spine and your nervous system run your body. You can't move if your spine doesn't move. And that's what provides nerve supply to all these cells, to your metabolism, to your organs and systems. Chiropractic is not a pain relief modality, it's a lifestyle modality. I've been getting adjustments since I was 16 years old. Chiropractic changed my life forever, and it became part of my health strategy. So I still get adjusted at least every week. And I have been for that entire time. What is that? How old am I? 41, 25 years, something like that. And it's still part of it. And some people may ask you, like, how come you still going to the chiropractor? Why do you go to the chiropractor at all? But if they knew what you knew, then they would do it. That's like asking somebody at the gym, why are you still working out? You look pretty fit. Like, would that make any sense? You see, the lady there, she's looking really fit. It's like, man, you look pretty fit. You should probably stop working out. Does that make any sense? No, man, you're like a really healthy weight. You should probably stop your nutrition plan. That's like, I don't think you're good. You can just stop now, right? You go to your dentist and they're like, oh, no cavities, clear. Stop brushing your teeth. No more flossing. You don't got to come back anymore. Come back when you have a cavity. Right? Does that make sense? No. So why would it make sense to not take care of the most vital system in your body, your spine and nervous system, for the rest of your life? My goal for every person, it's no secret, lifetime chiropractic care. Because that's what's necessary for a healthy body and for all these things to work well. Perform your spinal rehab, right? That's the same thing as brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth. A brittle spine that's not moving breaks down. Who wants arthritis of their spine? Who wants their discs to break down and compress their nerves so where you can't move or walk? How awesome does that sound? Who wants to be stiff and hunched over like this? Nobody. Are these the healthy people? No, they're not. And some people get that way because nobody ever taught them. But now you know something different, so there's no reason why that should happen. That's why we give you the home care. The home care is part of mobilizing and hydrating your spine. 90% of the nutrition in your brain comes from the movement of the spine. So how vital is that? Just a couple of minutes a day can change your life. How about sleep? You think sleep is important? Can we get away with not sleeping? Nope. Your metabolism is regulated to your sleep. If you don't sleep, your metabolism is slow. Just a fact. You need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. No shortcuts. Some days you have a little bit less, but that's the average. They've studied this over hundreds of thousands of people, and they found there's like less than 1% of people who can get less sleep than that and be physiologically healthy. So you're like, oh, I can do 5 hours. Yeah, you may be able to get away with it, but it's not healthy. And it's going to catch up to you over time. You want to get consistent sleep with ideally consistent bedtimes and wake times. Not like, oh, on Mondays I go to bed at 8, but on the weekend I go to bed at 2. And then I wake up at 10. And then this day I wake up at 4. Right? That's not healthy for you. Having a consistent time within an hour or two of physiological time, if you ever use something like an Oura Ring or Whoop or any kind of tracker, it'll actually tell you, here's your physiological sleep time. Here's where you're getting the most deep sleep. Here's where you're getting the REM sleep. Here's your sleep cycle. Here's when you should go to sleep. Here's when you should wake up. It's amazing what comes for that. And I figured out it's pretty accurate. So having sleep habits is super important. The times you eat matter. When you eat is also important because your metabolism runs on a cycle. It runs on a rhythm. If your eating is super sporadic, some days you eat early in the morning, some days you don't eat at all in the morning, some days you have lunch, some days you skip lunch, some days you eat dinner at 5, some days you eat dinner at 9, sometimes you have a midnight snack. You're totally confusing your metabolism. Your body doesn't know what to do, so adhere to a defined eating window following a specific plan. And what I encourage all of you to is practice mindful eating. What is mindful eating? Probably ask. Mindful eating is that when you're focused on eating, you're not driving, you're not watching TV, you're not on your cell phone, you're not having a conversation with somebody else, you're focusing on eating. You're chewing your food, you're thinking about it. Totally changes the experience. When's the last time you tried that? Where you actually just sat there and ate your food and like, oh man, this is really good, this is nourishing my body. You're chewing completely. Because what happens when you're sitting there and you're eating? Just shoveling it in, right? If you're eating in a stressed state, how good is your digestion? Yeah, if you're eating in the morning late to work, just shoveling it in, do you think your body's processing that? No, it's adding more stress to the system. So think about mindful eating. What are you eating? Do you have a nutrition plan right now? Or is it just kind of sporadic? Well, let's see what we're going to have today. That's why you want to follow a plan, right? Eliminate the seed oils. Get rid of the sugars and grains where it's not healthy. Have a plan for your nutrition. Also temperature. So you may have heard of some of these things here. Using heat and cold affects your metabolism in a positive way. So heat would be like sauna, infrared sauna, hot tub, higher temperatures is good for your metabolism and it's good for your body. You have heat reactive proteins that come up. You should be getting at least a cumulative 2 hours, 1 hour per week of heat. So get in the sauna, get warm bath, magnesium bath. There's all kinds of things that you can do no matter what your situation. And also cold. 12 minutes of cumulative cold. This would be like a freezing cold shower, a cold plunge, hopping in your pool in the winter. Not as many people like this one. But if you did 1 to 2 minutes a day in a cold shower, it shows that you get sick less often, you have lower immune system, it shows greater longevity, all kinds of benefits to the cold reactive proteins in your body. And this helps your metabolism. Just again, easy biohacks, right? Is a 1-2 minute cold shower in the morning worth not getting sick this season? That's up to you. But that's part of what you can incorporate. It's really easy to do. Just get in there and just turn that thing on down. Nice and cold. Light, super important. Get healthy light as much as possible. The sun. During the day, go out in the sun. Sunlight affects your circadian rhythm, which affects your heart, your immune system, your metabolism, so many things, right? This time of year, we don't get a lot of that. Maybe it's raining, it's cold. You're not going outside as much. The days are shorter, which is why more people are sick, unhappy, overweight, all kinds of problems during this time of year because of light exposure. Makes a big difference. Minimize the fake light. These are LEDs, so they're a little better, but blue lights, which is screens, TVs, lamps, all that blue light tells your brain it's still awake. So it's harder to go to sleep. You're not releasing as much of the melatonin, which is part of your body's sleep cycle. So minimizing blue lights at night, maximizing natural sun exposure during the day. Get lots of water. Stay well hydrated. Super important. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces per day, right? Drink water. Your body needs hydration. Start to clean out your personal care and cleaning products. So part of your packet here is you should have the toxic ingredient list. Looks like this, right? Talks about all the unhealthy foods, the unhealthy products, the stuff that's in non-essential food. So these are cleaning products, fluoride, parabens, lead, chlorine, bleach. These are the things that you clean with. This is your personal care products. This is your shampoo. This is your cosmetics. This is your soap. This is all toxins. So look at your environment and start getting the toxic exposure out of there and start getting out back into more nature. Get outside, right? Take a green break if you're having a stressful day. Go look at the trees. There's something that happens. Like, have you ever felt that when you're outside and it's the trees and you're like, you just feel better, right? Don't you? You just feel good. It's in our physiology. How do you feel sitting in a building in the corner? You don't feel good. You don't feel good, right? Going back into your office for a couple more hours doesn't make you feel good. So you want to get in there. So part of the 30-day challenge is getting these habits in. So I'm going to walk you through what this looks like. This is kind of like 75 hard, but not as intense. And again, you're going to get all this, so don't like frantically write it all down, okay? You're like, oh, hold on, go back. So we're going to walk you through what this looks like. And it's basically applying everything we talked about. 30 days of advanced plan and intermittent fasting. I encourage everybody to just try this. Try it for 30 days. You're going to feel better. I'll go through exactly what that looks like. So follow that advanced plan. You're also going to get the advanced plan shopping guide, advanced plan nutrition guide. So make it really easy. That way you can apply it. 30 days of following this. In the morning, start your day with some type of protein shake, smoothie. We recommend the bone broth with the greens because that's going to have the most healthy nutrient density that you can add that in. But here's a simple recipe. You can add some other things in. Bone broth, greens, berries, coconut, fat, berries, protein, right? The metabolism boosting foods. Everything we talked about there, you're going to get right there. And it kind of keeps you in that fasting mode during that time because there's not a lot of sugar in there at all. So it's very easy on your metabolism, gives you great energy for the morning. These are what's in it. So the bone broth itself is not like the protein. Again, don't go to GNC and get the protein, right? Because it's full of junk, sucralose. It comes from the unhealthy cows. You want to make sure this comes from 100% grass-fed cows, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial sweet flavors, sweetened with stevia. And bone broth itself has collagen. It improves your digestion. It boosts your metabolism. All kinds of healthy that goes in there. That's why we're recommending this as part of that plan. You also want to get your body moving. 20 minutes per day of exercise. Can everybody do 20 minutes? Yes. We have 24 hours. You can dedicate 20 minutes to yourself. This is go for a walk. This is exercise. This is play a sport. Whatever it is, active movement for at least 20 minutes, because that's going to get you to that right about that 150 minutes a week. That's necessary for your body. Make sure you're getting regular adjustments. So you don't have to come in every day for 30 days for adjustments. But follow your adjustment rhythm. Everyone who's in here on a plan, there's a plan for a reason. 3 times a week means 3 times a week. Twice a week means 3 times a week. That's not just an arbitrary number. That's a number that comes off science, that comes off thousands and thousands of hours of clinical experience. It comes off your information. Once a week means once a week, right? Follow that plan and schedule. There's a reason why that's there. Home care every day. So for 30 days, commit to doing the home care every single day at least once. Wobble and traction once a day. If you're doing body weighting or postural exercises, right? That could be as little as 2 to 5 minutes per day. Just do it each day. Create the habit. Read every day. So we want to get in 10 pages of reading. Reading for your brain is like exercise for your body. And this is reading from a book. No computer, no phone, no Kindle, an actual book. You guys still got those, right? Yep. Okay, or you know where to find them. So an actual book, paper, read it for 10 minutes. Ideally before you go to bed at night. It's going to help you get in that sleep routine rhythm. It could be a personal help book. It could be a health book. It could be a story book, whatever you want. Just get in the habit of reading every single day, right? It's super good for your body. Drink water. So every day for 30 days, drink at least half your body weight. Not a gallon. Not everybody needs a gallon of water. Some people need more than a gallon. Some people need less than a gallon. What you need is half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of water. Make sense? Super easy. So follow that. Drink good, healthy, filtered water. To make this easy for you, we have the guide. So this is actually what's in the guide. This here. So this is the 30-day challenge we just outlined. It actually has a food diary so you can track what you're eating. So you can start to learn that. It has the grocery store shopping guide so you know what to look for, all the healthier alternatives. The Max Living Nutrition Plan is in here. For the advanced plan, it has 30 days of motion and different exercises for each day during that period of time so you don't even know what to do. Max T3, this is a high intensity based workout plan that you can do. All this is here. We're going to email this to everybody that signed in today to come, only for those that came. So make sure if you didn't sign in, you sign in. And for the first 5 people who get the Metabolism bundle, we have 5 of these actually printed out for you. So as soon as we're done here, if you're one of the first 5, you're going to get it printed out and you're going to leave here with it today. Everyone else, you're going to get it emailed this week, but you're going to get it. Okay, so we can start working on that. And these are all the things that's in there. Now, we also have a nutrition plan called a Metabolic Reset for people who want more accountability and who have struggled to lose weight in the past. So for many people, you can just start following a plan and you see that you're on track. But there's also a number of people who they do all those things and they still don't lose weight. Right? We've had it happen plenty of times. And so you need more assistance. Your body needs a metabolic reset. A metabolic reset is where we go through a even more specific nutrition plan and supplement plan that actually helps to reset your metabolism and get your body starting to burn that fat off. Right? There's a 42-day plan that follows it where we're actually checking in with you as much as weekly to make sure that you're successful. This is a higher accountability plan. This is a I've tried all the different things plan and want to get better. This is also people who are considering or maybe even currently on medical weight loss. So you've probably seen all the stuff out there now. Take this injection, take semaglutide, take Mounjaro, take Ozempic. This is the miracle weight loss drug. It's not a miracle. Just like there's no Impossible Burger, there's no miracle weight loss drug. It makes your body sick. It's extremely unhealthy. Already people are having major health challenges, major problems. Costs more and less effective than this program right here. 0 side effects. Actually, you get healthier. I have people, digestion's getting better, inflammation's going away. It's so much more intensive. And really what it is, it's a nutrition plan. It's a lifestyle plan. It's modifying what you eat, how you eat it, the times of day, how much you eat, and it gives you the nutrition to keep your body healthy. So you're not getting muscle wasting. You're helping your body through the metabolic process. You're helping with the chemicals and hormones. And on average, people are losing in that 42 days somewhere between 18 to 25, 30 pounds. So depending on where you are and who you are, it makes a huge difference. That's why we have these things available, because I had so many patients that are like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm getting the shot now. And it's like, oh man, that's just not good. There's a better way. So if you know someone who's doing that, you can try to encourage them to do something different. This works. It actually burns fat. It eliminates the cravings and suppresses your hunger and creates what's called a new set point. So what a metabolic reset is, it's affecting your basal metabolic rate. So your body right now has a baseline metabolism. Whatever weight you are is what your body thinks it should be. So even if you lose weight, but this is still here, what's your body going to do? Whoop, it's going to go right back. That's why diet plans don't work. What do we say? 95% of fad diets fail. That's why. So now you were here and now you're here. So this becomes your new normal if you follow the plan as explained. And now this is where your body thinks it is. And this is where you're going to stay, right in that relative level, continuing on the maintenance plan beyond that. So that's really the big differentiator of what this is compared to any other diet plan. And you want to know your numbers to know where you are. So you can actually measure these things. Understanding what is your weight for your height. BMI is not the greatest, but it gives you kind of an average of where you want to look. You also want to know your waist measurement. What is your actual body fat percentage? And where is that going? Wouldn't that be valuable to know? Is it around your organs? Is it fat distributed to your body? Is it 15%? Is it 40%? How do you even know? How does that even change, right? Wouldn't it be valuable to measure that? What is your basal metabolic rate right now? What's your lean body mass? How much muscle mass do you have? This is all measured. We measure this in the office as part of this program so we can see where are you with all these different things. You can have those numbers and you can see how those numbers change. So if you want to know what your numbers are, you're interested in a more accountable program, then talk to Lisa. We actually set aside for just those here tonight a complimentary consultation to go through this here and get an idea of your numbers. We only have available times this week and next week. So talk to Lisa here. Does everyone know who Lisa is? Lisa, raise your hand. She can help you with that. If you're ready to start or continue your weight loss journey, this is a great opportunity for you. And as an added benefit, we're going to give an extra 10% off for anybody who starts their weight loss plan this month. So the month of February, if you've already done it before and you're ready to do another one, you'll get 10% off as well. Fair enough? Okay. So let's talk about toxins. So toxicity is a part of your metabolism. And one of the big three stresses is chemical stress. And we already talked about where it is. It's in our food, right? We can all agree with that now. It's in our personal care products. It's in our cleaning products. That's why you have the toxic ingredient list. It's in the environment. It's in our water. It's everywhere. So having a plan of keeping your body low on toxins is essential. And part of that is switching out your environment. We already talked about what that looks like. Avoiding the toxins as much as possible. But also part of it is detoxing on a regular basis. That's why we have the digestion and detox product now. We also have the detox system, which is a more in-depth detox that you can do about every 90 days, 3 to 6 months, just as like a cleaning the filters. And we have more advanced detoxes like CellCore for those who really have toxic burden and are now getting the pour over issues of toxicity. We also have healthy cleaning partners that we have here in the office. So if you want someone to come clean your house or have more alternative cleanings, that's available to you as well. And just learning about what's healthy and what's not. 3 things for toxicity. Number 1 is you want to avoid the most toxic things, right? That's so huge. And then start replacing it with healthier alternatives. And number 3, cleanse the toxins out of your body on a regular basis. Keeping those filters clear, keeping the resilience high. And when you have low toxins, your metabolism works better. Because as toxicity starts pouring over, it slows down and affects your metabolism. Because now your metabolism's dealing with toxicity rather than dealing with running your body. Right? So we want to remove all the sources of interference to be able to do that. And the way to support detoxification is the things we already talked about. Right? Healthy nutrition plan, get adjusted regularly so all the organs and systems are connected. Exercise. When you exercise, you're actually stimulating the detox process. When you're drinking water, you're improving the elimination process, which is the number 1 way for your body to get toxins out of here. If you're not eating good food, you're not moving your body, you're not well hydrated, and the systems are all clogged up, toxicity builds. That's not good. And that's the root cause of many health problems. We also want to exercise. We already talked about the exercise plan, so we're not going to go really big into it. But exercise boosts your metabolism. When you exercise, your body thinks like, I got to prepare for the next exercise, so the metabolism starts speeding up. When you start to build muscle and lose fat, your metabolism speeds up. So your basal metabolic rate actually gets higher, which means you burn calories faster. You have more energy. Exercise is the push for that. So you got to get your body moving. Again, there's no way around it. That's why we teach the 5 essentials. These are not like the 5 good ideas or the 5 shoulds. They're the 5 essentials. Essential means you need to do it if you want to be healthy. You need to have a healthy spine and nervous system. You need to have a healthy nutrition plan. You need to have a peace management plan for your life. You need to exercise and move, and you need to minimize toxins. Can you see if we just followed this 5 essentials plan, how your life could radically be different? Yeah, you see how this is a lifestyle that's sustainable, and when done consistently, changes your life and your family's life forever. That's what we're really all about. So we're actually doing a fun, healthy, fun event for everybody. We're doing Run Rocklin. I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. So if you're looking for an excuse to get out, start moving, I know Sandy knows a lot about this event. So this is done locally here in Rocklin at Johnson Spring View Park. There's a kids run, there's a 5K, 10K, there's a half marathon. So pretty much whatever level you're at fitness-wise right now. We have an office team. Our goal is to get at least 20 people to come and do it. If you sign up this month, you'll get a free t-shirt, has our office name on there. This QR code here has everything you need if you want to scan that. So by February 28th, you get the free t-shirt. Also, if we get over 20 people, a portion of that gets donated back to a local charity here. We typically work with Kids First, or if you have a recommendation. So that goes back to a local charity if we get a certain amount of people on there. And for those of you who want, if you sign up by this time, we'll actually give you like a couch to 5K kind of program for like, I haven't run in 30 years, whatever time period it is. Like there's a way that you can go out there and do it and have fun at the event and be successful. So we'd love to have you out and come and join us. A good reason to be healthy as a group. It goes through the local community there and supports a really good cause here in our local community as well. So we'd love to see you out there. You'll see flyers around the office. They're posted here. Just scan that QR code. It takes you right to our team. Back to health. Do we have a better idea of what health is and what that really looks like? There's 2 ways of looking at your health. There's the disease model, which is what most people know. That's our standard American system right now, right? The most costly system in the world, the least effective. So if you don't want to do that, and that's what everybody else is doing, you need to be doing something different, right? You need to have a plan for your health. You don't go to the same doctors. You don't take the same drugs. You don't follow the same recommendations. You don't shop at the same places. You don't eat the same food. You do different stuff, right? You want a different result. You do different things. That's what we talked about today, the health model. The holistic health model, that's what we're all about. And the reason I love chiropractic and why it is what we do is because chiropractic is at the root of all that. Because what controls function in your body? It's the nervous system, right? It's no secret. If you ever took anatomy at any point in your life, it's like the brain connects to the body and the body connects to everything else. You guys remember that old commercial where it like runs through the lines and like the brain is connected to this and it all goes through? That's so funny and it's so true. And there's been research over so many decades about how your health is directly proportional to the health of your spine and nervous system. There's just no escape from that. But chiropractors are the only doctors that actually work with your spine and nervous system. Your medical doctor doesn't, your PT doesn't, right? Your massage therapist, all these things can be beneficial for you, but it's not addressing what's going on with your spine and nervous system, especially subluxation. Subluxation is the root cause of many health issues. And maybe like, what is subluxation? Subluxation is nerve irritation caused from your spine. When your spine shifts out of its alignment, when it's under more stress than it can handle, when it's not moving or functioning properly, that's subluxation. This can happen at any age, from 0 days old to 100 years old. You can have subluxation. It's nerve irritation. It's interference to your body's innate ability to heal and remain healthy. How vital is it that the system that runs your body is working well? Super important. Now again, would you want to do this just until your neck pain goes away or for the rest of your life? It makes sense. It's just logical once you understand that. And here's why. Less than 10% of your nerves sense pain. So if you're just judging it on, I need to go to the chiropractor because something hurts, you're missing 90%. Feeling good does not equal good health. Feeling good does not equal good health. Functioning well creates good health. And you look at what these nerves control. They control a little bit of what you feel, but it also controls everything that moves. Every muscle in your body is connected to your nervous system. Autonomic system, every organ and function, including your metabolism, is affected by each one of these nerves. If this is compressed from subluxation, you don't feel that. you don't feel that. If this is compressed from subluxation, you probably don't feel that either. Even if this is compressed, you have to lose 40% of function before you even feel it. So pain is the most acute area, and getting out of pain is not the goal. Now, there's a lot of chiropractors where that is the goal. This is what's on your insurance plan. So people are like, oh, I'm going to go to the person on my insurance plan for my 6 visits a year. That's pain relief. Pain relief. Pain relief only. That's dealing with the most acute systems. That's like going to the dentist only when you have a cavity to get your tooth pulled and do nothing else in between until the next tooth needs to get pulled, until eventually you have no teeth left. That's what that does. You slowly break down and get worse and worse and worse over time until it's so bad you have to do something different. That's what pain relief does. Now, that's better than Tylenol, that's better than a surgery or an injection, but it's nothing more than temporary pain relief. You're not changing physiology. Within 2 weeks of subluxation, you're already making structural physiological change. 2 weeks, that's it. I have people coming like, I go to the chiropractor regularly. I'm just curious, how often is that? Once every 6 months, a couple times a year. That's far greater than every 2 weeks. If you went to the gym a couple times this year, would you be fit? Nope. This doesn't happen. Corrective care chiropractor is not the standard person. That's what we focus on here. It's about constantly improving the structure and function of your spine and nervous system, and that never ends. It's always working on how do we make it better. And that's why we consistently do progress exams, x-rays, there's a plan, there's home care, consistently making it better. So when you look at your spine, subluxation isn't a health problem, it's a back problem. So also in your guide here is you have the spine chart. I want you guys to look at this. So this is your spine, 26 movable segments of your spine. Every part of your spine controls a different part of your body. So start to learn how your body works. And the right side, this is your body telling you, hey, there's possibly a problem here if subluxation is there long enough. So when you look at this here, next time you have something coming up or you're wondering, hey, what controls my stomach? Oh, that's T6. That goes to the middle of my back. Well, let's make sure that area is working well and subluxation free. So this is so key. Same thing. You got someone that, man, I've really been getting headaches. Well, how's your C1 looking? Is your head out here like this? Or is it back over your shoulders where it needs to be? Are you kind of tilted off to the side and can't really look over your shoulder when you're backing out of the garage? Well, that's a good sign. You got a C1 subluxation. Your body's smart. It tells you what's going on. So if you're experiencing physical symptoms, well, that means subluxation is still healing. Sometimes it can take years for that to be able to heal. There's different phases depending on how long it's been there. Even phase 1, which is no degenerative change, 12 to 18 months for full healing. Phase 2, when we're starting to see degenerative change, means it's been there for a decade. That takes 1 to 3 years to restore normal function. Phase 3, 2 to 4 years. Beyond that, you got to work on this forever because there's so much damage going on. So the key is don't let that happen. But look for the warning signs in yourself and others because people in your life need your help. And if you don't tell them, who will? If you don't tell them maybe you should see a chiropractor, hey, I know you've been doing all these things and going on all these doctor visits. Have you thought about seeing a chiropractor? Most people will be like, no, I've never done that before. Oh, I went to a chiropractor once and they cracked my neck and I never went back. Well, they need to see someone who's going to take an x-ray, who's going to have a plan, who's going to get to the cause of the problem, who's going to help them in that health journey. That's what we do here in the office. And chiropractors are the only doctors trained to detect and correct subluxation. Not your neurologist, not your orthopedist, not your physical therapist, chiropractors only. That's what we focus on 100%. When you're here to get adjusted, our 100% focus is correcting and reducing subluxation so your body works better. And you do that for the rest of your life. So when you think about your health journey, it's the last thing we want to go over, and this is so key. Everyone who wants to be healthy needs to see a chiropractor, and here's why. This is the best long-term study of chiropractor ever. 7-year study. Maybe you've seen this before. When we said earlier, who wants to take more drugs? Who wants to go to the hospital? Who wants surgery? Nobody raised their hand. You want to make sure that's a reality? You go to chiropractor for at least every other week for the rest of your life, 85% less pharmaceutical costs. 85% less drugs you're going to take in your life. Isn't that amazing? 60% on average, less surgeries, less days in the hospital, less hospitalizations. And the coolest part here that's not listed on here, these same people spent 30% on the average on their medical spending. 30%. Which right now, the average now has gone up to about 9,000 to 10,000. So you're going to save over the course of your life 70% on your medical expenditures, going to the doctor less, taking less drugs with an overall better quality of life. Pretty good investment, right? Makes a lot of sense. Is chiropractic an expense or an investment? It's an investment in your health. It saves you money, it saves you time, and it gives you better quality of life. So what's our action steps for today as we're leaving here, right? Because what creates results? Action. Yes, we want everyone leaving with action steps. So number one, do the 30-day challenge. Right? That's the purpose of it. So that way you can start implementing the habits that create the results you want in your life. Again, we're going to automatically send you this whole packet. If you want one printed today, make sure you get right up to the front. Get your Metabolism bundle, okay? If you're wanting to start or continue your weight loss journey, sign up for a consult today, okay? We only have so many spots available, and it's just this week and next week. And you get that discount also for the rest of this month. So if you're really serious about your weight loss goals and you want to make sure you're getting there, make sure you sign up for that today. And the last thing is the Metabolism bundle. Again, we have 10 of these here available, but pre-orders can go as much as you want, and we'll get them to you within the next week. There's no limit on how many you can get, and it's 20% off today only. Not next week, not tomorrow, today. Sound good? Outstanding. So your action steps today, start this challenge, get the resources you need, and we're here to guide you along the way to make sure you're successful. And bring a friend to the next workshop so that way you can save someone else's life too. Thanks for being here.